Good morning. It's Friday, February 20th. Clean out your bookcase day. This feels like a personal attack. No, I'm not going to be doing that. I will, in fact, add more books, actually, just because I feel this day personally insulted me. I will add more books always. And now, the news. Starting with Bombshell news out of the UK. On Thursday, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, that's his real name, the artist formerly known as Prince Andrew, but he lost that title when his close personal friendship with Jeffrey Epstein and allegations of sexual assault against Virginia Giuffre came to light, was arrested. Not for the stuff I just mentioned, not the sexual assault, no. Suspicion of misconduct in public office. This is really big news. He was arrested and then released as the investigation now continues. The arrest happened on his birthday. And you gotta go look at the picture of him in the car because he looks absurd. It is so funny. He's leaning back at a very odd angle and he looks so confused. And the flash gives one eye kind of like a red eye, and he's shocked to be finally seeing consequences for some actions. It's a delight, quite frankly. It is unclear what the misconduct specifically is, though I'm sure it'll come to light soon, and it's probably a lot of misconduct to choose from, you know? What is actually unclear is whether this arrest and investigation is in any way tied to the Epstein files. It's possible that he's just like an all-around bad guy. For example, in the Epstein files, there's one email where he is asking Ghislaine Maxwell if she has found any, quote, new inappropriate friends for him to have fun with. He is also accused of sexually assaulting Virginia Giuffre 3 separate times, 3 different occasions. So he is absolutely disgusting. It's been nice to watch, though, to see that these Epstein files are career and reputation enders somewhere. In the United Kingdom, people are taking them very seriously. Meanwhile, here, the president is a person literally named the most in the files. And people here are like, I don't even think file is a real word. How about that? That's how absurd they sound at this point, sticking up impossibly for Donald Trump, who's named in the files. He's named in the files more times than Harry Potter is named in the entire Harry Potter series. Insane thing to stick up for. And speaking of the files, New Mexico's Attorney General Raúl Torrez announced on Thursday that based on the information in this new drop of files, he has reopened an investigation into Epstein's former Zorro Ranch. The original case was closed in 2019 at the request of federal prosecutors. Epstein never faced any charges in New Mexico, but he probably should have, and he's not the only one. It's not like he was just out there at Zorro Ranch practicing his lassoing and no one ever visited him. This could be a really, really big case because they are going to now be able to look at the files, do investigating, and charge other people. What Raúl Torrez is doing, this New Mexico case, this could be kind of like a side door into consequences for actions. Could be huge. And then the other big news story is that Trump is threatening Iran with, quote, bad things if they don't make a deal on their nuclear program. In fact, sources have told CNN that although he has not made up his mind, Trump could strike Iran as soon as this weekend. The Olympics have been going on for the last 2 weeks. As you know, go America's hockey team. Go all the athletes. Go sports. I'm really excited for the Summer Olympics. Although, as you all know, or maybe you don't know this yet, but I could have been an Olympic speed skater, and I would have been magic on the ice. But the wars were on pause because of the Olympics, and the closing ceremonies are on Sunday, so this could happen as soon as Sunday. We have the most military equipment lined up in the Middle East that we have had since 2003. We have 2 warships over there right now. So that's factually what is happening around Iran. But what Trump told reporters is that he is going to give the country 10 to 15 days to make a deal with the United States and Israel. That likely is not enough time because both sides have held indirect talks in the last few weeks and they have gone nowhere. So now Trump's talking about striking Iran, saying, quote, "It's proven to be, over the years, not easy to make a meaningful deal with Iran, and we have to make a meaningful deal. Otherwise, bad things happen," end quote. And where did he say this? Where did he make that threat? At the first meeting of his Board of Peace, where he is the chair. The chair, again, Trump, Donald, J, whatever it stands for. I know it stands for John, but it could be anything. I, for one, think it stands for jerk. Oh, Kim, be nice. No one's saying that if you listen to the show. Anyway, Donald J. Trump, lover of peace everywhere. Loves peace so much, he has a dove tattoo on his lower back. I hated that joke. I'm sorry I did it for the visual alone. Anyway, Donald Trump is the chair of peace, and at the first meeting of this Board of Peace, he's threatening violence. Not a big reader, that guy, but he should consider looking up the word irony, and then also consider looking up the word 25th Amendment. Iran, for its part, is holding drills with Russia. That's not a great combination. Those are 2 countries that we would prefer are not friends. It's Friday. Who knows what the weekend will bring? As of this recording, Trump says he has not made a decision yet. Honestly, the way his mush brain works, it's going to be the loudest voice that he finds the most handsome that he ends up listening to, because that is just how he works, how he operates. And I, for one, think good idea, voters, for deciding that's who you wanted as a president. This is one of those stories that sounds scary. It's not a great story. We don't want to do war, but right now this is just something to less be scared of and more keep an eye on. Yesterday, I did a whole long episode where I just rambled a lot about voting, so today's episode is going to be a little shorter, but I could not let this episode end without telling you about this one thing. You know how in every movie or TV show where the bad guy is like the mayor of the city or the president? And at some point in the movie, a federal building starts to have huge banners with their face on them. And it's almost a cliche, but it's like, okay, well, that's how you know that Harvey Dent is actually a bad guy. Well, on Thursday, the Department of Justice hung up a huge banner of Trump hanging from 2 different columns with text saying, "Make America Safe Again." Hey, I have a great idea how to do that. Start with investigating the president. He's been accused of some of the most horrific crimes you could possibly think of. Again, this is literally the point in the movie where you know the bad guy has gone full fascist. We're in this part of the movie now, which, don't worry, that means the movie's usually almost over. That's the midterms. The midterms are when things hopefully start to turn around. It is it's so embarrassing. It's such an embarrassing cliche. But this is Pam Bondi's life. This is her legacy. And you know what? I'm glad that this is her legacy, because at least we will never let her forget. One day, the glass will shatter, and she will realize what she's done, and she will be embarrassed. And that is going to be so fun, because then for the rest of her life, she will know that she protected men accused of raping children, including the president, who, in addition to being accused of those crimes, is also doing fascism and authoritarianism and all the rest of the isms. And for the rest of her life, she will know that she was a part of it, and it'll keep her up at night. And if she ever falls asleep, sometimes she'll wake up and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that." Like, you know how if you have an embarrassing moment, sometimes you wake up and you remember it? That will be her. but that she'll be thinking about how she let authoritarianism and fascism and all the isms happen. That's what she'll be thinking about. But every once in a while, not often, but every once in a while, one of those 3 a.m. wake-ups will be remembering this banner here. And I think that's great. The banner, terrible. So dumb. And ugly. But the way she'll feel about what she's done for the rest of her life when she eventually wakes up, pretty cool. And that's it. That's the news. I'm proud of, you know what? Yesterday's episode is nearly 30 minutes long. I'm so sorry. I just get excited to talk about voting. I didn't have a script, and I just get excited to talk about voting. You should know, though, 30 minutes, way too long. It was originally more than an hour long. Yeah. So if you think you got punished with 30 minutes, could have been worse. So I'm proud of Adobe Premiere Pro for allowing me to edit it down. Also, books and bookshelves, but more than your full bookshelf, because something about you being a story that I never want to end. I'm proud of you.